Okay, looks like we're heading to Sarna. And Marshal Davion says, Commander, I've tried contacting both the COC and the Fusiliers to alert them to our plight. But since their impending invasion of Sarna is considered top secret, the entire unit is operating under a communications blackout until they secure Sarna. But by that time, it could be too late for us. We will need to dispatch you to Sarna on your own. Your mission will be to link up with the 5th Sirtis Fusiliers Combat Commander, General Gordon Hearthstone, or the Battletech Regiment Commander, Colonel Anthony Harkness, and deliver this verigraphed message from myself explaining our situation. Once you've made contact with them, your objective on Sarna is to find the location of Sarna's Maskarovka headquarters and demolish it before they can decrypt the 3rd Crucis' codebooks. See if General Hearthstone or Colonel Harkness can spare some forces to support you once you've made contact. Unfortunately, due to Sarna's distance through hostile space and with jump ship availability being in short supply, the best we could muster for you is a route that will take over 3 months before you arrive at Sarna, and another 16 days traveling from the jump point to the planet itself. By the time you touch down, it will be almost a month after the Fusiliers have initiated their invasion of the planet. If everything goes well, by the time you reach Sarna, they should have a strong foothold already established in system. Commander, until you make contact with the Fusiliers, you will be on your own with no support. So I need to ask, are you absolutely sure you have all your mechs and equipment queued for refits during your journey? I have no idea what the situation on Sarna will look like by the time you arrive, so be extra sure that you have collected all needed provisions prior to departing. Godspeed, Commander. Contact me immediately once your objective is complete. Which one? No, Okay, I think I'm ready. Cutscene again?
Sarna, capital system of the Sarna Commonality, and one of the jewels of the Capellan Confederation. For centuries, Sarna had been a beacon of industry and technological sophistication, once housing large populous cities across all of its continents, feeding a healthy commercial manufacturing industry. But, like the rest of the Ionosphere, the succession wars brought death and destruction to Sarna. Today, although it's only a shadow of its former self, it remains an important world. Its aerospace and dropship manufacturing centres, combined with its centralised location in Capellan space, have made it a prime target for the Federated Sun's ongoing invasion of the Confederation. House Davion has charged the elite 5th Sirtis Fusiliers with taking Sarna. In order to complete our mission, we will first need to make contact with their commanding officers, General Gordon Hearthstone and Colonel Anthony Harkness. But something seems to be wrong. Although we jumped into the system 7 days ago, I have not yet been able to hail anyone on the wideband Federated Sun's command channel. I'm getting nothing but silence every time I try. Even more disturbing, the local news is reporting that the Fusiliers have attacked and destroyed Sarna's HPG relay station, which has cut the system out of contact with the rest of the Ionosphere. spreading panic among Sarna's populace. Our mission to recover the stolen Mio codebooks is far too important for us to abandon. Whatever the odds, we must make contact with the 5th Certis Fusiliers and request their assistance in finding and destroying the stolen codebooks. Otherwise, the entire security of Operation Rat could be compromised. Let's just hope we're not too late.
Spoiler alert, that HBG station and comms blackout. That's Comstar scheming again. The news, Tikhonov Free Republic declares independence. And then Liao's new heavy mech already being used against itself. Because the captured factory on Tikhonov already producing cataphracts, which for the Federated Suns, and are fighting cataphracts from the Liao forces. And MechWarrior has dedicated himself into taking back every cataphract from the Federated Suns in his special hero mech cataphract. Ilya Muromets, it's this one. I remember that one from MWO as well. Alright, so we are on approach to Sarna. Getting nothing on the Davian command channel. I'm also picking up a large amount of space debris in shallow orbit right outside of Sarna's exosphere. Looks to be the debris of a number of destroyed dropships or satellites, but they are too small to make out any discernible origin. Wait a minute, Commander, I'm just beginning to get a read on the 5th Certis Fusiliers encoded channel. It's incredibly faint. They appear to be sending an SOS. The message is only a single set of coordinates accompanied by a single repeating text transmission. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is the 5th Certis Fusiliers calling for assistance from any forces loyal to the Federated Suns. We are in need of assistance at the following coordinates. No holovid, no audio, no declaration of any kind of identification, and the signal on this is so faint that I can't even get a read on anything beyond the text transmission and coordinates. I don't like this, Commander. I don't like this one bit. Unfortunately, these coordinates are the only lead we have at finding the Fusiliers, and we need those codebooks and their help or everything will be lost. If this signal is legitimate, we'll need to assist the Fusiliers and make contact with General Heartstone or Colonel Harkness if we are going to have any hope of completing our mission. But be extremely cautious, Commander. This is all the makings of a trap to lure Davion loyalists into an ambush. I would not risk our most effective mechs until we have a better idea for what's going on. If it's as bad as it looks, we are going to need to prepare for the long haul. Right, here goes nothing. Hope we were able to find the
there is
friendlies.
One of the more tanks. Destroy it.
Battletech departure. Warning. Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
The communications disarray caused by the Comstar HPG relay station's destruction has allowed us to land on Sarna undetected. But I'm still not getting any responses on the Federated Suns wideband. The only thing we're detecting is a faint SOS signal from the 5th Certis Fusilier. I've marked its approximate location on your HUD. If there are any Federation forces out there, we need to make contact with them ASAP if we are to have any hope of surviving this deep into Kaplan territory. But be on your guard, Commander. This SOS signal could be a trap.
So they're all badly damaged. At least they're not red all over. At least they're just yellow all over. Oh, patent tank.
They appear to be members of the Fusiliers, transmitting IFF frequencies to them now. Let's go up and introduce ourselves.
Incoming Mechs, stay where you are. Your IFF says you're with the 2nd Cruises Lancers. Why are the Lancers here on Sarna?
The Lancers aren't here in force, it's only us. We're here on special assignment from Marshal Jackson Davion. We have an urgent matter to discuss with General Hartstone.
He's gone. We believe he's been KIA.
What about Colonel Harkness?
Definitely KIA. His Marauder was bombarded by Inferno missiles. When he tried to punch out, Inferno gel poured into his cockpit and burned him alive.
That's not pleasant.
You're looking at her. Captain Alana Damu, 5th Certus Fusiliers, 1st Battalion. And as much as I would love to know why you're here, that is going to have to wait. We've got bigger problems at the moment. We're waiting on our salvage teams to strip this Gazelle for any surviving provisions. We're not going to make it much longer if we can't salvage as much of its supplies as we can. We're detecting Liao forces converging on our position. They must have tracked your approach here. Lancers, my men are exhausted and stretched to the brink. I cannot afford to lose any more of them. Help us fight through this with minimal losses, and I'll see what I can do about helping you with your special assignment.
We're on it, Captain.
New target, Panther.
Heavy metal spotted!
Target acquired.
If I'm not mistaken, she's one of the few survivors from an ambush.
New target, Thunder.
Focus target updated.
I'm reading more Liao forces on approach. Captain Damu, do you have dropship support to extract your unit?
No, our dropship support was destroyed in low orbit shortly after we made planetfall. We've been tracking down and salvaging whatever supplies we can from as many of the downed support dropships we can find. I'll be straight with you. After a solid month of dodging hostile forces, we're on our last legs.
What happened here?
Sarna was a trap. Our Neo intelligence was completely inaccurate. They said that the system was only defended by a few regiments of militia with possible light mech reserve support. What we ended up getting was all 4 regiments of McCarran's armored cavalry. They waited for us to make planetfall before attacking our dropships as they tried to return to a low orbit, trapping all of us on this rock. Then, their mech and vehicle forces pinned us against the Grey River and slaughtered everyone. Only a handful of us were able to make it out. If we don't secure these supplies, we won't last much longer. What you see here is pretty much all that's left of the 5th Certus Fusiliers.
Yikes.
Enemy ship landing at your location.
Focusing our fire on target.
That was a precision shot.
Destroyed.
to blanket the entire system in some sort of thick electromagnetic field that's completely scrambling anything that isn't short-range communications on planet.
That would explain why we weren't reading anything on the wideband on our burn into the system.
New target Victor.
Weapon system has gone.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Tango eliminated.
Commander target received.
Falling in behind you.
Destroyed.
Copy. Commander target is our target.
Raven.
Confirmed. Enemy
Target
mech on
destroyed.
into you.
On our burn towards the system, we caught the news saying that you blokes took out the local HPG station.
I don't believe that for a second. No matter what the Confederation's state-run news says. The HPG was our only hope of contacting anyone off-world about our dire situation here. It makes no sense that we would destroy the only means of saving ourselves. With Liao shooting down our dropships and the HPG destroyed, we have no way of contacting anyone off-planet. Whoever destroyed the HPG most likely condemned us all to death.
Yeah, something seemed fishy about that. You have to be absolutely mental to even think about crossing Comstar and their HPG stations. Last time someone tried, the entire Free Worlds League found themselves without interstellar communications for almost a year. And they only got it back because their Captain General capitulated to Comstar's every demand.
Last one. Like I said, this was a Comstar ploy.
I'm showing no further enemies on scope. It looks like we are in the clear.
Your Lancers really pulled through for us. Thank you. Stick around till we're done here, then follow us. We'll talk about Marshal Davian's special assignment for you once we reach our encampment. Worded advice, though. Lose the dropship. Keep it suborbital if you need to relocate. The Big Mac will shoot you out of the sky if they think you're assisting us. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck in the trenches with us till this is all over.
Not sure about this, but if I recall, this Captain Damu was one of the few who escaped the trap. She managed to by leading her unit through a burning forest, which obscured their escape. Something like that, I think. Okay, transmission from Captain Damu. Thanks for watching our backs out there, Commander. Ever since McCarran's killed the majority of the Fusiliers on the Grey River, we've been in bad shape. Lots of the survivors that we've found had severe injuries or infections after weeks of surviving off of Sarna's jungle. But we've recovered a handful of MechWarriors who are still fit for service after having their mechs blasted out from under them by the armored cavalry. If you don't mind taking on the extra personnel, I'll assign them over to you to use as you see fit. They're good MechWarriors, but I just don't have enough equipment to keep them in this fight. When you're ready, let's see what made Marshal Davian feel the need to send you all the way out here to this hellhole on your lonesome. He's okay. Commander, I reviewed your message from Marshal Davion. I understand the urgency of your mission, but to be completely honest, the Fusiliers are in no shape to help you out. Most of our unit died when Makaran's armored cavalry ambushed us. We've barely kept ourselves alive this past month by salvaging remains as we find them. We aren't in any shape to help out in a straight-up fight, let alone track down an enemy spy network on a hostile world. But not everything is hopeless. You see, we still believe that there may be at least one other pocket of Fusiliers out there, the ones that are said to have attacked Comstar's HPG. We've been hoping that they would respond to our SOS, but with all this damn long-range comms jamming, it's next to impossible to get a signal out. I'm actually amazed that you were able to pick it up, probably because your dropship communications gear is much more powerful than your average Mechs. That actually gives me an idea. If I can give you the transponder codes our Mechs and vehicles use in the field, you should be able to track down those responsible for the HPG attack by using the sensors on your Leopard. I don't know what got in their heads to be dumb enough to attack one of Comstar's HPGs, but if they're still alive, we all stand a much better chance surviving this if we all work together. Safety in numbers and all that. If you help us out here, I promise that we'll do our best to support you in completing your mission. I wouldn't worry about those codebooks going anywhere with the system's HPG down and all. Down and all commercial dropships grounded. They wouldn't be able to get those codes off-world even if they wanted to. Now let's try to solve the mystery.
Prepare for Battletech departure. Warning. Hangar doors opening. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
We're coming up on the ruins of the HPG relay station. I've marked the map with the last known location of the Fusiliers transponders being sent. After they all went rogue, be sure to be on your guard and watch your backs. Makaran's armored cavalry is still breathing down our necks, looking to finish us off for good. Let's go find our answers.
Nice, they're all at perfect health, thankfully.
Hostile spotted.
Target destroyed.
Target destroyed.
Bigger Mech, Warhammer, Ryan, and Victor. That's a solid lance
I see
right
them.
there.
Whoever they aren't with the Fusiliers. This is Captain Alana Damu of the 5th Certus Fusiliers. Who the hell are you, and why are you using our transponder signals?
We serve a purpose much higher than yours, my child. I regret you coming here. Now I'm afraid I cannot allow you to leave this place alive. Die, knowing your sacrifice will usher humanity into a new golden era.
Incoming missile.
Screw that and screw you. I don't have any plans on dying today, but I do plan on dismantling you imposters piece by piece until you tell me what I want to know.
Target acquired.
One more mech out to the fight.
Target received. Engaging.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Priority target received.
Fuck off! Yeah, one more.
New target Warhammer.
Commander's target over.
You fuck off too.
Target destroyed.
You don't even realize you are nothing more than a pawn in someone else's game.
And I'm sure that ominous word vomit spewing from something.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Didn't you know? Your first prince sent you here to die.
Ha! Not the first time the Fusiliers have heard that one.
Acquired.
Wow, these guys are being pretty aggressive for once.
Target destroyed. Target
Group target acknowledged.
destroyed.
Hans Champion wishes to see your Duke's prize, Certus Fusiliers, offered up to house 3 hours of blood
Target
sacrifice.
acquired.
Retaliation for Duke Michael Hamilton's treachery, selling Federation secrets directly to Maximilian Liao.
That's kind of true.
That's a fairly active imagination you have there. The Confederation's ambassador to New Certus kidnapped our Duke and took him to Sion, where Max Liao executed him in cold blood. Duke Hasek Davion was a patriot to the entire Federated Sons and died at the hands of a madman.
Target
Battletech kill for me! Tango eliminated.
Damn, there's a lot. That's a lot. Any more? Pretty torn up.
Duke Hasek Davion was a traitor to your nation who sought Babylon's throne for himself. He fled to Sion on his own free will. He was even willing to use you and your 5th Fusiliers to attack your own countrymen in the name of the Confederation.
That might be a bit of a stretch.
acquired.
But
Destroyed.
yeah, he was too ambitious, Duke Michael.
What an interesting series of mental gymnastics you've laid out there. And how, might I ask, would you know all of this?
He's Comstar. Are you fighting something over there?
We have our ways, my child, but that is of no concern to you. Die, knowing that your sacrifice here will serve as the foundation for a better, more peaceful inner sphere.
We have our ways as well, of putting imposters like you into the ground. If you won't tell us the truth now, we'll just have to drag it out of you after we rip you out of your cockpits and make you pay for what you've done.
New target. Charge.
Focus the commander's target.
Target destroyed.
Better.
targets on our scopes. Looks like they're all down.
Good. Bring the support infantry out and take in as many prisoners as possible. Rip each and every one of them out of their mechs. I want answers, and we aren't going to get any if we don't bring these imposters in alive.
All right, let's see what we can do against with the odds totally against us and the Syrtis Fusiliers. Not much of them left, and just a few of us available. All right. From Captain Damu. Commander, sorry for my emotions getting the best of me out there, but whoever that smug son of a bitch on the comms was, he definitely knew all the right buttons to press to piss me off. My mood's greatly improved after I've been told we were able to pry him out of his mech alive. We got lucky and he fell unconscious during the battle. We weren't so lucky with his co-conspirators though. Many of them killed themselves before they could be taken into custody. Sounds like Comstar! We got a handful of them, but not as many as I would have liked to capture. Whoever they are, they definitely have top-grade intelligence training. Could be Maskirovka or Death Commandos. No, it's Comstar ROM. But honestly, there are some huge holes in that theory. They wanted to trap us here and attack the HPG to frame House Davion in the eyes of Comstar. While the broad strokes make sense, other major details don't. They never once called for Macarons to reinforce them. They have no forms of ID. They don't act like any Capellan I've ever seen, and most of all, they know things. Things that no Capellan intelligence officer would ever divulge to us. If I'm being honest, the whole lot of them gives me the creeps. Yes, Space AT&T is basically a cult. We've put all the survivors under the enhanced interrogation and came up with zero answers as to who they are or why they destroyed the HPG, but plenty of seemingly random bits of information regarding Yorinaga Kurita, a Liao counteroffensive, plans for a raid against the New Avalon NAIS campus, New Avalon Institute of Science, and other things that were clearly way too implausible to be true. Spoiler alert, all those three things, they happen. Anyway, among the random bits of information they did divulge was the location of all Maskirovka facilities on Sarna, and confirmation that they did receive a priority message from Tigris months ago. They claim it's been buried in a sea of thousands of other reports that began flooding into their offices since the fall of Tikhonov. These must be your lost codebooks, Commander. If it's true, then the Maskirovka do have it, but don't yet know the value of the content they possess. Although we didn't find any additional Fusiliers survivors, a deal's a deal, Commander. I'll spare what I can to assist you in a raid against the identified Maskirovka headquarters. It won't be much, but with this new intel, it should hopefully be enough for you to get your job done. Let's use my brawlers. This is gonna be a city mission, so it's gonna be close quarters fighting. Not much sightlines, I'm guessing.
Right, Commander. We were able to learn the location of Sarna's Maskirovka headquarters and support facilities around the capital city of Sarna from our captured imposters. If your stolen codebooks were delivered anywhere, it would have been at any of the marked facilities for decoding. With the HPG system down, it's fairly safe to assume the codebooks would not have been able to make it off-planet even if they were decoded. So if you can destroy them here, it's unlikely Liao will be able to retrieve them again. We are deep in enemy territory here, so I can only support you with a small team of commandos. They will tail you and verify the destruction of the codebooks once you destroy the marked buildings. This is your mission, and I need to tend to the Fusiliers and plan our next move. So I'll leave the rest of this up to you and Rihanna. Best of luck.
And to you, Captain Danu. I've got nothing to add to that, Commander. So let's get the job done.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Enemy destroyed!
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Commander's targets group up.
Target destroyed. Target
Group
acquired.
target acknowledged.
Target destroyed.
Target is down!
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Don't wreck the city, guys.
Target destroyed.
There's our first target. Let's be quick about this, Commander. Looks like we've got their attention, Commander. Just keep at it.
Ceasing fire.
Target acquired. New target spotted.
Alert the commander. Take the target.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Engage commanded target.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. New target.
Circuit target updated.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Apple eliminated.
Target
Add one more to my kill count.
target destroyed. Target acquired. Target
That's the last facility. The infantry will take it from here. We need to evacuate now, before McCarran's armored cavalry shows up in force. Make your way to the marked exfil site.
Yep, that's...
target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Yeah, I don't... Staying here until the Big Mac comes is not a good idea. that was a very easy mission, and I will not complain about that. Okay, for our next mission, it's we have another transmission from Captain Alana. Congratulations, completing your mission, Commander. My commandos reported that the second the Maskirovka saw infantry investigating their destroyed sites, they initiated protocols to destroy everything rather than see Confederation secrets fall into our hands. We were able to capture a handful of random data drives for good measure, but I doubt there's anything of immediate value to us on them. Although your mission for Marshal Davion is now complete, I'm afraid that you're still trapped on Sarna just like the rest of us. Liao forces still maintain air superiority and will destroy your dropship if you attempt to leave the system, just as they destroyed all of ours. But not all hope is lost. We just captured a scouting patrol from the local militia and were able to tap into Makaran's comm systems. While we know they will change the transmission codes the second they realize one of their patrols are missing, we've learned that Makaran is squarely focused on destroying remnants of the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles, the Sirtis Fusiliers mercenary support battalions for the Sarna campaign. If you remember the Operation Galahad war games, the Crater Cobras were our buddies during those missions rather. So they're still alive and have been causing the Big Mac nothing but problems for months now. We've used your Leopard's sensors to pinpoint their position through their assigned transponder codes, and we've verified that they are still alive and moving, although they are too far for us to make radio contact through all of this electromagnetic jamming. This is the best news we've received since you all arrived to help us. Commander will need you to make initial contact with them. At the moment, their reported location is too far away from any of our Fusiliers to make without abandoning our wounded and prisoners. I'll prep everyone for transport and begin to slowly migrate our surviving personnel in their general direction. Your forces can fly ahead in your dropship and make initial contact with their forces and plan a rendezvous point for us. The Mercenaries have been moving their forces repeatedly, trying to stay one step ahead of Makaran's. Judging by their movements, it appears that they are migrating towards the ruins of a derelict warship located deep in northern Hakarlos. This will be the most ideal spot for you to make contact with them. This might be the last time we see each other, Commander, so before you go, I just want to say thanks for everything. You've given all the remaining Fusiliers hope that we'll make it out of all of this, one way or another.
The ruins of the derelict warship are straight ahead, Commander. The Crater Cobras and the Screaming Eagles have taken refuge in its interior. If we want to have any chance of getting out of this mess alive, we're going to need their help. Let's hope they aren't in as dire straits as we are.
Thunderbolt, Shadowhawk, Dragon. Oh, King Crab. Can I have that? Pretty please? I want one.
See one of the ancient warships. These things used to be at the top of the food chain when it came to the supreme military power of the Star League. Massive spacecraft that acted as jump ships, armed to the teeth with naval weapons and assault dropships.
And were often used to rain death across entire systems with nuclear fire and chemical strikes. Untold billions died at the hands of these monsters. It's not surprising that they were the first things to be targeted and destroyed in the early succession wars.
So it looks like it's Colonel Westrick. I'd say it's a good idea to help them. They're our buddies after all.
We're rallying on you, Commander.
broadcasting Federated Suns IFF. You out there, identify yourselves.
We are an independent detachment of the 2nd Crucis Lancers on special assignment. We're here to help.
Rihanna Campbell? Is that you? I thought you were with that Merc outfit from the Galahad War Games. What are you doing broadcasting Davian military IFFs?
That's a long story for another time. For now, we're hoping to help each other out of this mess.
That's highly optimistic of you. We dug into this position to defend ourselves from an incoming advance from the 3rd McCarran's Armored Cavalry. They've been probing our defenses for the past week after we repelled an all-out assault from them at Graves Hallow. If you want to help, join us, and let's push these bastards back. Keep us in good enough shape, and we might just live to see tomorrow. Clear to Westrick. Enemy scouts just crossed the outer perimeter. They're here! Well, okay then. Let's get to work. Rihanna, Commander, we'll appreciate the assist here. Keep our mercs in fighting shape. We won't be any good to you dead.
Roger that.
Target
Let's go.
acquired. New target, Locust.
Something just got insta-gibbed.
Reserve forces from the Karens appear to be crossing the perimeter. Things are going to heat up quickly here.
Understood. We should be able to pull through if we can keep our forces in the fight.
We'll do our best, Colonel.
Where are they coming from? It's quite... it's a bit tight in here. From the front.
New target, Spider. Target acquired. New target, Firestone. Target acquired.
Insta-gibbed.
New target, Vindicator. Target destroyed.
Get rigged.
Acquired.
Lance target received. Explosion imminent. Your target is about to crit, Commander.
Target destroyed. New target, Phoenix Hawk.
Shared target identified.
Target acquired.
Great shot. Nailed that cockpit.
Target
Tango eliminated.
Target destroyed.
Our assigned Mech target is on the field. Let's take it down.
Out of the way.
Eliminated.
Target acquired.
Clean headshot. Nice.
I'm clear from the fight. Go get him.
8 left.
Acquired.
Where are they coming from?
Target is down.
Pulling in behind you.
Centurion.
Enemy Drago spotted.
Target.
On the commanded target.
Yikes.
Incoming missile.
The rest of the rear guard are moving in to engage.
God, these bastards just don't give up. Crater Cobras, stay strong. We've almost got them.
Enemy mech eliminated. Copy. Commanded target is our target.
New target. Archer.
Oh shit.
System offline.
Target eliminated.
Focus the commander's target.
Target destroyed. Heat critical.
Coordinating air attack.
You guys take care of it.
New target. Shadowhawk. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Coordinated attack target received.
Ammo depleted.
Kill for me. Hell yeah.
We're on it, Commander. Wheel gun, focusing fire.
The Shadowhawk's pretty aggro.
All remaining Mechs forces appear to be withdrawing. For now, our forces are in the clear.
You have our thanks, Commander.
It's pretty
But without us
intense.
being able to transmit off system, I'm very skeptical about our overall chances at survival. A very strong ECM field is preventing us from contacting anyone at the system's jump point. We have a long shot plan to try to get a message off-world. With your help, we might just be able to do it. Come by our command center and I'll share the details with you.
Message from Colonel Westrick. Commander, it's great to see you again. I only wish we were meeting under better circumstances. You have my thanks for keeping us in good enough shape to see tomorrow. While I can't spare too much equipment, I do have a MechWarrior that's been disposed of their mech in the recent fighting. If you have a mech for them, they'll serve you well. I'll send them over to your dropship. Let's catch up over a drink in my tent. I'm curious to know why the hell you're even on this rock in the first place. She's okay. Not bad. Oh, mission. Side mission, kill 5 Orions. It's done. Here's what Colonel Westrick has to say. Sure is some story you've got there, Commander. While I am glad to hear that Captain Damu was able to rally a number of survivors from the Fusiliers' ranks, you won't find much sympathy for their plight among my men after what Hearthstone pulled. You see, things went sideways for us the second we arrived in system. After they heard Maximilian Liao killed their beloved Duke, General Hearthstone ordered the 5th Sirtis Fusiliers to charge ahead of our invasion flotilla on a high G burn that jumped the gun on the agreed upon invasion schedule. They beat us to the planet's surface by 2 days, hoping to satisfy their lust for revenge. All they did was walk face first into a trap that doomed them all. I can still hear the screams they broadcast to us in vain hope that we would save them while we were still over a day away from reaching the planet. The Screaming Eagles and I decided that, despite the incompetence of Hearthstone and the Fusiliers, we could not deviate from our contracted invasion plan. If we packed it up and left for home, we might have lived, but we would never be able to find MRB back to work again. We came to the joint decision that we would drop in-system and fight out Makaran's armored cavalry in a protracted guerrilla war and attempt to get a message off-system requesting reinforcements from the AFFS. Little did we know that the Capellans had some kind of jamming field that disrupts long-range communications planet-wide. Those bastards kept their jammers off so we could listen to the Fusiliers plead for their lives on our approach in, only to flip the switch and jam our comms the second we hit atmosphere. We've been trying to figure out a way to get a message to the jump point ever since. Commander, we've spent months scouting out the facilities that the Capellans used to disrupt long-range communications on planet. But with our numbers, we've always determined that assaulting one was too high risk. With you here, we may just be able to pull it off. We know the Capellans are gunning for us. So if we pull the Big Mac's attention away from a number of their regional jamming arrays, we should be able to thin their defenses enough to where you can perform a targeted strike and bring those jammers down. It'll be just like Galahad. We'll draw them away, you see that the mission gets done. I'll be straight with you, Commander. This mission is critical to us being able to get a message out of the system. I don't know how much longer any of us can last down here, but you give us a month or so, we can plan for an assault on these jamming facilities. So take your time to prepare your forces and be ready for anything. We may have a need to deploy in consecutive missions depending on how Makaran's reacts to their jammers being destroyed. So make sure you complete as many repairs and refits as possible before we execute this mission. Godspeed, my friend. We'll see you on the other side.
The Crater Cobras have provided us with the location of a series of powerful ECM arrays that have been disrupting long-range comms across the entire Sarna system. If we destroy enough arrays within the region, we should be able to pierce the localized disruption field and get a message out to the system's jump point. We need to destroy these ECM arrays in order to have any hope of getting a message off-world. If we don't succeed, well, we'll all most likely die here, Commander.
Oh, lovely. No pressure at all for the likes of us, eh?
I know it's hard to hear, but it's the simple truth. While we've had our successes, Makaran's armored cavalry still has 4 full regiments of troops on Sarna. It's a simple numbers game. The reality is, we don't have enough forces to come out ahead. Even with the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles, we need reinforcements. And with the system's HPG down, the only way that we can ever hope of getting them is if we get a message back to Davion Command through a ferried message by jump ship. Bringing down these ECM arrays is our only chance of doing that. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this time, all our lives are depending on this. So good luck, Commander.
Yep, I'm feeling the ECM.
New targets.
Well done. Focusing fire.
transmission on the AFSC's command line. The first one since we've arrived at Sarna. I can't make out anything in it, but destroying the other ECM towers might allow us to hear the broadcast. Keep it up, Commander.
Interesting. Do I dare hope?
Tango eliminated.
Heavy metal on radar.
Enemy mech eliminated.
Target acquired.
Tango down.
Destroyed.
Focus target updated.
New target commander.
Kill for me. Hell yeah.
Target acquired.
Target
destroyed.
lines. We'll be in position to encircle them in a matter of hours.
New target locust.
Damn it! Commander, the ECM disruption is weakening. But McCarran is encircling our forces while you're attacking the ECM installations. We don't have the numbers to fight through them. We need those towers destroyed so we can find a gap in their lines. We fought too long and too hard for this to be our end.
Be advised.
Target
Units
destroyed.
critical.
Target acquired.
Tango eliminated.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Oh damn, is the cavalry finally here?
The message is getting clearer, but we still can't make out any discernible information. We need to destroy those remaining ECM towers.
Commander, our tactical projections are not good. The only way we can break through McCarran's forces is if we abandon our wounded. That is not something I'm willing to do. We're preparing to make our last stand. Finish the mission, Commander. Then get as far away from us as possible. Regroup with Captain Damu. Get a message back to Davian Command. Survive.
Oh no.
I'm sorry we couldn't do more.
It's okay. It's the part of the job that all of us mercenaries must accept at some point. Today, it's just my time.
Where's the commander? Take the target.
Target destroyed. New target blackjack. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
We have your targets, commander.
Target destroyed!
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Ah! Two left.
New target.
Focusing our fire on target. Group target received.
Target
Whew.
destroyed.
Got
Target
gibbed.
acquired.
Commander's target group up.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Chemical live
acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Add one more to my kill count.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Copy. Commander target is our target. I just took that mech out.
Target
Target received.
target destroyed.
I'm getting quick warnings. Interesting.
Kurita? Wrong voice line?
This is Arden Sortek of the Davion Heavy Guards calling all surviving forces of the Federated Suns. We have reached Sarna's atmosphere and are available to reinforce your position. Is anyone out there? Please respond. Again, this is Arden Sortek.
Colonel Sortek.
Sortek, this is Colonel Richard Westrick with the Crater Cobras. My God, is it good to hear your voice. The Crater Cobras and the Screaming Eagles are pinned down 50 clicks east of the city of Catatonia along the coast. We estimate that the Big Mac will have us completely surrounded in 3 hours. Transmitting exact coordinates now. Coordinates received. We're preparing an orbital mech drop to reinforce your position. Hold fast, Colonel. Help is here.
This is Captain Alana Damu with the survivors of the 5th Certus Fusiliers. We don't have much left, but we are moving to assist. ETA 2 hours.
Looks like our salvation is here, Commander. I've marked a new exfil site on your map. Let's get out of here and join the others.
Is it a good time to reveal another spoiler? Hans Davion kinda planned. Was kind of his plan all along. He wanted to get rid of the how should I say it, scheming loyalists of Duke Michael, and he hated doing it, but sometimes a ruler has gotta do what he's gotta do to secure his position, especially against scheming nobles. What the hell? What's shooting at me? No, I wanted that cataphract with the ECMs. Damn. Looks like salvation is at hand, but we still have to fight for it. So, Commander, Captain Damu, we're about to engage in the fight of our lives. The Capellans must know that if they can't wipe us out before the heavy guards touch down on Sarna, it's over for them. Their only hope at maintaining control of the planet will be to utterly destroy our forces, so that when Colonel Sortek touches down, they'll have the numbers to fight him back. We've all gone through too much just to lose everything at the end. We need to muster whatever strength we have left and hold the line until Colonel Sortek relieves us. Gather your best mechs, equipment, and mech warriors, and meet my Crater Cobras at the following coordinates. Prepare to give the Big Mac everything you've got. We did not go through 6 months of hell just to die on the day that reinforcements arrive. The only thing left to do is hold the line. We do that, and we will live to see tomorrow. Okay, we just have to hold out until Colonel Sortek arrives with reinforcements. I do not trust the AI with my fancy mechs. Alright, let's finish this.
This is it, everyone. Colonel Sortek is on the verge of making planetfall and is en route to our position. The Karens knows that if we successfully relink with the Davian heavy guards, they're done for. So, they're gonna throw everything they have at us trying to put us in the ground before Colonel Sortek's reinforcements arrive. We've spent the past 6 months in hell, cowering and sulking in the shadow of those bastards, trying to survive against unprecedented circumstances. No dropship support, no air support, no way of communicating with the jump point. Hell, we even made it by with no HPG, completely blind to the rest of the inner sphere. We made it through all of that. But today, finally, we can stand tall against these compelling bastards. Today is a day of retribution. Today we are finally taking the fight to them.
Fusiliers, I'm not one for speeches as eloquent as our mercenary friends. We have been struggling to survive since the Grey River ran red with the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters. Just remember, they're still here. They're watching over us. And today, God willing, we will avenge their deaths. For New Certus, for House Hasek.
We have contacts. Dead ahead. All forces fire at will. Stay in cover and support one another. Don't let them spill one more ounce of Cobra's blood today.
Commander, Colonel Westrick is right about one thing. The McCarran's forces will be relentless. There's no telling when the Davion heavy guards will make it to the field. So we need to support one another if we're going to make it out of this alive. Tread carefully, Commander.
Mechs on scope. Get ready.
Target acquired.
cronies have taken 6 months and hundreds of our brothers and sisters' lives with them. Fusilier, make them pay!
Enemy mech down!
Copy. Engage commander's target.
Target destroyed.
Oops.
New target califrac. Target destroyed.
Hopefully that was a legging.
Coordinating our attack.
Target acquired.
Enemy mech destroyed!
Acquired.
Reinforce. Constant salvage value.
Critical.
Forces of the Federated Suns. My Davion heavy guards have just touched down. Our rushed mech drops scattered us across a wide area. We are reforming our lances and about to move on your position now. ETA 2 minutes. Hold out just a little longer.
Target destroyed.
Following your lead, Commander. Will call. Focusing fire.
Target acquired.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Enemy mech down. Focusing our fire on target.
New target started.
Kill for me. Hell yeah! Coordinated attack target received.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Forces of the Federated Suns. The Davion heavy guards are here to assist. It's time to take the fight to McCarran's armored cavalry.
Thank you, Commander. One last push and then it's over. Let's finish this.
To all forces of the Federated Suns, we have cleared the field. Sarna is ours.
Commander, I just want
Whew.
to thank you. If you hadn't come to help us all those months ago, I have no doubt in my mind that we would have died like the rest of our brothers and sisters in the 5th. We'll never forget what you did for us.
Likewise, Captain. Without you, we would never have been able to complete our mission for the Kestrel Lancers. Now let's all fall back in with the heavy guards and finally get some R&R. It's been one hell of a campaign.
I was kind of expecting more enemies. Oh well. Success is success. No, I don't get any of I didn't get the ECM fracts. And it's been a while, but I've received a transmission from Marshal Jackson. Commander, I've just received your report from Arden Sortek. I cannot tell you how glad I am to hear that you made it through the Sarna campaign. When I heard of the armored cavalry ambush and the HPG being destroyed, I feared that I may have condemned you all to death. You had all of the Kestrel Lancers worried for you. While I am sorry that I cannot be there on Sarna to debrief you in person, there is still much for me to do here on Tigris. Please accept this scanned message as your formal debriefing. By the time Comstar is able to deliver this message to you, our offensive, which the news feeds have taken to calling the Fourth Succession War, will be over. As I speak, Comstar is negotiating the end to all hostilities between the 5 great houses. When all is said and done, the Capellan Confederation will have to capitulate that it had lost over half of its former territory, most of it to be claimed by House Davion through right of conquest, but some by 2 former Capellan commonalities declaring independence from the Confederation. Excuse me. Those would be the St. Ives territories ruled by Candace Liao, who will be marrying a certain Mr. Justin Allard, and the pair's progeny will be very significant in the future. Anyway, to continue. The first to break away was the Tikhonov commonality. They were holding out hope that the Confederation would come to their aid, but after being cut off from a direct logistical route to Cyan, they eventually declared independence to spare their citizens from further Davion invasions. You won't believe who leads them. Our old friend Pavel Ridzik. After he managed to escape our forces and fled Tikhonov, Ridzik retreated to Elgin, where he took control of the region, declaring himself Supreme Lord of the Tikhonov Free Republic. His reign didn't last long, as an assassin killed him back in June. The other breakaway faction is the St. Ives commonality. The former heir of the Confederation, Candace Liao, abandoned her father to declare her province independent from the Confederation. I can't imagine how Maximilian Liao is taking that one. And like I said earlier, with the Justin Allard as well, that's a whole other thing. You guys need to read the trilogy of books by Michael Stackpole. It's pretty good, in my opinion. Pretty good series of novels. Anyway, Comstar is negotiating to formally recognize these independent provinces as new nations once their leaders can charter the new laws of their provisional governments. Be sure to be on the lookout for those two once all the dust settles later this year. The next item we'll need to discuss is the destruction of Sarna's HPG. After the Fusiliers destroyed the HPG, Comstar was furious with the Federated Suns, claiming us ultimately responsible for its destruction. They put the entirety of the Federated Suns under interdiction, cutting off interstellar communications and commerce between the hundreds of Federation worlds. Your report about the imposter Fusiliers captured by Captain Damu couldn't have come at a worse time. Had we known about this a month ago, we would have been able to mount a defense against Comstar's accusation. But First Prince Davion has already agreed to allow Comstar to station their own mech security forces at every HPG in the Federation to ensure that such a debacle never happens again. It's much too late to defend our role in the Sarna HPG attack now, even if we know that we were not responsible for its destruction. As I said earlier, it was a basically a Comstar plot. The interdiction, along with the war effort, sent the Federated Suns economy into a tailspin. Had they maintained their interdiction, Comstar could have very much bankrupted the entire Federation. Which brings me to the most uncomfortable part of this debrief. Commander, Federated Suns can no longer financially support the remainder of our contract with your unit. I'm to inform you that we are invoking our cancellation clause and releasing you from the remaining 4 months of your contract. You will be compensated for this with your agreed upon MRB release bonus. I'm sorry our time together had to end like this, Commander, but it's completely out of my hands. The Crucis Lancers won't be escaping these budget cutbacks either. While for the time being my command will still exist on paper, for the most part, most of the personnel of the 2nd Crucis Lancers has been consolidated into the 3rd Crucis under Marshal Pedrosa's command and will continue to the garrison Tigris. I currently exist to ensure that the Kestrel Lancers continue to be a paper tiger to our enemies, while the Federation's economy recovers from the war. But I won't let this deter me. I forged the Kestrel Lancers from nothing once, I can do it again. Although you won't be able to help me this time, Commander, I'll never forget the contributions you and your team made to keep the legend of the Kestrel Lancers alive. We'll be back, and stronger than ever. You'll see. Goodbye, my friend, until we meet again. And we're done. That was a great campaign, I think. Oh. Message from from Colonel Sortek. Commander, I'm sorry to see that COC Command saw the need to cut your contract short. But I'm told it could not be helped. No one could have anticipated Comstar's interdiction or the economic crash that preceded it. Although the Federated Suns is still willing to offer you short-term localized contracts, I'm afraid that any long-term commitment is simply not on the table until our unification into the Federated Commonwealth next year. First Prince Davion has asked me to relay you a message on his behalf. He asked me to commend you on your good work throughout your campaign on behalf of the 2nd Crucis Lancers. The Lancers owe you a debt of gratitude for being such a reliable force throughout the 4th Succession War. Unfortunately, Commander, Hans has also deemed that large amounts of your campaign for the Federated Suns are to be expunged from the official record and classified as top secret. Why am I not surprised? Your inclusion on the 2nd Crucis roster, the hidden earthworks factory that we now possess, the stolen MIIO codebooks, and how close the enemy was to getting them, your mission on Sarna, and your capture of the true assailants of the Sarna HPG attack. All of these things will be classified as state secrets and are never to be mentioned or talked about again. While I know it stings, this is often just the way things are for a mercenary, just like your father knew when he agreed to the Halstead Station contract. Okay, where did good old Dad not fight, or who did he know everybody? Anyway, although we aren't in a position to financially compensate you in the same way we rewarded your father for his loyalty and silence, we do have some early prototypes from the NAIS that Hans would like to give you. Prototypes we would have never achieved had it not been for the service of both you and your father. Hans hopes that these prototypes serve you well and wants you to know that once the unification of the Federated Commonwealth is final, you have a place among us if you choose to join our cause. I hope you consider and take Hans up on that offer. The Federated Commonwealth can use all the help we can get, making a better, more peaceful inner sphere. Until then, Commander, this is goodbye. Well, level 4 LB 10X. I'm always happy for some more of these nice weapons. Okay. And now that we're done with the Legend of the Kestrel Lancers campaign, my thoughts. First off, like I said in the last episode, I really love that the campaign places us in important places doing important things. I was expecting us to be placed in the periphery of the 4th Succession War, doing minor things, but the opposite actually happened, which was a very pleasant surprise. One downside though is that I wish the battles in the missions felt bigger. like in the very last mission of the campaign. The map was really small. I had only 2 allies at the start, with 4 more coming in later, and the enemy waves weren't that big also. I would have wanted something more epic, like 1 lance from the Crater Cobras, 1 lance from the Sirtis Fusiliers, then my lance, going up against multiple large waves of enemy mechs and vehicles. I think something like this would have been a more fitting climax to the Kestrel Lancers campaign. Maybe it's an engine issue, can't fit that many units on the field, I don't know. But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed this campaign. Pretty good narrative, I liked the ties to existing lore, and a pretty good spread of mission types. And so this special campaign is done, and we'll be back to regular programming in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-parter of the Legend of the Kestrel Lancers campaign. I'll see you again on the next episode. Goodbye for now.